This is counter-narrative.
Hi, this is Counter Narrative here on the Career Bus podcast. My name is Casey, and of course, I'm joined here by very lovely legends. I call them legends of the program too. All right, so we have Clint all the way from Nigeria. You must win this fight though. No be to dey do like this. And of course, we have the beautiful Christy all the way from Canada. Welcome, guys, to the show. Yes, of course, the narrative for today is simple. All right, it's simple, but then it's a major reason why most relationships don't even see the daylight, and most marriages break up right at the center of things, and that is basically prone to what I call opinions, or rather, what I also call perspective and not truth. All right, so what is the topic for today? We're looking at my money is my money. Your money is our money. And this is a certain narrative in the public domain that most ladies actually use. They are correct in their opinions. They could also be wrong in their opinions. But here at the counter narrative, we want to put things in perspective. I would starting with, of course, the lady in the house, because this is that narrative. It dwells more among or resonates more among women or ladies, as the case may be. Christy,
yeah,
my money is my money. Your money is our money. What is your school of thought as regards that particular narrative? Is this something you uphold strongly?
Yes, it is something I oppose strongly, and I'll give like a few reasons why that is.
Okay.
Because we're Africans and we are. I'm African and a Nigerian. We have traditions and we have certain values that have been instilled in us, and certain family pattern that we follow. So my money is my money and your money is your money. It's something that we as Africans have grown into, right? Because women, just like in the Bible, are helpmates. And a man who is ready to get married and start a family should understand the responsibility that comes with it and should be ready and capable to meet those responsibilities. Even if not 100%, right? But you have to understand that this is your responsibility solely and not to be shared with your partner. Your partner's ability to step in to bridge the gap is actually bridging the gap.
So this your narrative, Christy. Sorry to cut you in between. This your narrative. Is it based on human? Is it humanly centered or is African culture centered?
Well, I would say it is African culture centered. Because what we see now in the Western world is where a situation where both parties or both partners share responsibility. And there is nothing wrong with that. There's also nothing wrong with that. But this also comes with understanding. But I have seen situations where men impose sharing financial responsibilities with their partner. And with that, I do not agree. It is your responsibility to, cater for your family. Even the Bible says that a man who cannot provide for his family is worse than an infidel. So if you have this understanding and cannot meet this responsibility, me as your partner, it is going to be insensitive for me to sit back and watch and say, oh, because it is your responsibility and you cannot meet up to these responsibilities 100%, then my money should be my money.
Christy,
Do you understand?
Christy, before you deviate a little, because I can see a little deflection now in your statement. Hold it there. Let me ask Clint. Clint, in your own point of view, if you're about to marry a lady and in the dating stage, you're already hearing, my money is my money, Oga, your money is our money, will you still go ahead in marrying that lady?
Okay. Let me address what Christy was saying before I come back to the question. Because it's not looking like she's supporting and not supporting. So this is my take on it. Relationship is more like partnership, right? And what's partnership? We go into it mutually, right? Yes, you will say the Bible says a man should take care of a woman. Remember in the olden days, talking about African setting, the women just sit at home and take care of the kids, take care of the home, while the men go out hunting, fishing, farming to feed the family, right? I will agree with that. But in this modern day, you see the women advocating for more rights. And more rights comes with more responsibilities.
Equal gender equality.
Gender equality, yes. If most women claim, oh, what a man can do, I can actually do better, then in that case, what I bring to the table, you also bring part of it. That's my take. But in my own case, I take care of my family, right? If at some point, because things won't run smoothly forever, if at some point things get rough, I wouldn't mind if my partner throws in one or two, because you're supposed to be a helpmate, right? So if you come in to help in such situations, there's nothing wrong with that. So I believe it's my money is our money, your money is still our money.
Okay, so Christy, back to you.
Did you answer Casey's question? No, he didn't answer your question.
I answered.
No.
My money is our money.
Will you marry?
Yes, on his question. Yes, his question was a yes or no question.
That has that particular narrative
mindset. No, I wouldn't.
You won't go ahead. Okay.
I wouldn't, because knowing that for the fact that life is not all that smooth, there will be a time where I will actually need your help, not because I'm dependent on you, but because of circumstances. And you now come back to tell me, oh, my money is my money, your money is our money. Say, hell no, I wouldn't.
Okay, Christy. So, guys, the reason we're having this discussion, so many people, marriages and relationship have hit the rocks, okay? And for some people, I see people online saying, God bless me with it, bless me with that. But the few relationships you've had, people say some guys are not committed and this and that. For a guy, from a man's point of view, I know men actually, most intelligent or most good men, they don't marry for money, but then they marry for purpose, right? And for some men, we want to marry maybe for support, right? Especially when you grow up in those kind of families where you saw your father and your mother, do things together. Because a large chunk of this mentality and narrative is actually still based on environmental factors, the country of residence, parenting pattern and all that. Because sometimes some of us are Christians because we saw our parents going to church.
True.
Right? And even when we grew up, we didn't really get to now discover why exactly am I a Christian. Some of us just keep kukuma going to church and be calling Jesus. All right. So I know there's that part of the narrative. But then, Christy, let me even also now ask you, in some situations, right? And I want to tell you, Christy, that this particular narrative, right, is like a spectrum. People are at the edge of it, some are at the other side of it. There are some people that may actually still be in the middle. Christy might likely be among people in the middle or at the edge, but what we are saying right now is not exactly because, Christy, you are in support of this narrative. You can speak for it as you're speaking for African women that believe in that particular narrative. Do you understand? Not necessarily because you believe in it. You want to hold water for people that believe in it and say, Casey, this is why we believe in this kind of narrative. So I would ask, for women who earn more than men in the family, first of all, will you marry a man you earn way more than? And secondly, for a woman that believes in my money is my money, your money is our money, if you now marry a man that you earn way more than, that's if you say yes to the first question that you can marry, how do you want the family to cope?
So personally, I can marry a man that I earn or that I'm financially more stable than. Why not? Because for me, for everyone, we have things that top our charts in terms of what we want in partners, right? So I can marry a man whom I earn more than, but in that relationship, I want to also see some level of responsibilities. I would like to make it more practical. Let's say I earn 500 naira in a month, and my partner earns 100,000 in a month, and say the bills for the house is 400,000, right? And my partner who earns 100,000 sit back and say, oh, since you're 400,000 can take care of the bill, like consistently does this particular way or act this particular way. Since your 400,000 can take care of the entire bill, then so be it. And then your 100,000, because it is too small, you can't even do anything. But if you earn 100,000 and knowing fully well that my earnings can take care of the house, but in that 100,000, you still take out 20,000, you still take out 50,000 to take up certain financial responsibility, right? That makes sense to me. It shows me that tomorrow, when you even earn more than I do, you're even able to take care of all of these responsibilities, right? But sitting back and relaxing because I am capable is what I cannot personally tolerate. So for me, marrying somebody who are more financially stable than is not an issue, but there must be a sense of responsibility, and which is where my take on your money is your money is our money and my money is my money comes in. Maybe I would kind of say that I'm in between, because it depends on certain situation, right? It depends on the situation, on the relationship. But what I don't also agree is starting off a relationship and trying to I don't know how to say, maybe to put out this narrative to say, oh, how it's good to talk about finances, but it's also good for you to show your responsibility as a man, your ability to decipher whether your woman is going to step in situations where you are not capable, is not in whether she agrees to your money is our money or my money is our money. It is your ability to decipher that is in the actions, the attitude, the relationship she has with other people, right? How is she with her finances? How does she treat money? Does she work for money or money works for her? Does she serve money or money serves her? Right? How does she relate with other people? Because I can say one thing, I can tell you, oh, don't worry, our money is our money, and we get into the marriage, and tomorrow you're seeing a different thing, right? So, but your attitude actually puts out what your real, like the real sense of you, no matter what you see. Do you understand my point?
Christy, women that uphold that narrative fully, right? Most of them, there are stories where we've seen online where a lady owns a building and she rented the building to
the husband
through the agent. So the husband did not know it is her building. We've also seen women that use their money for their own personal aggrandizement. They use their money for Gucci bags and shoes because her money is her money. His money is the family's money. Like I said, I try to establish that from my own point of view. I think that narrative is a spectrum. You might be somewhere not at the extreme of those because there's a thin line between people that say these things and sheer selfishness. Right? It's a very thin line. So I want to now ask you, for women who think that way, or women who sit back, because majority of African women, I like that your initial standard where you said it's an African culture, and we've seen it in Nigeria. It's not Pada, but it's not Gokong, right? We've seen it where women just use their money to take care of themselves, and the man is struggling to put up with the financial bills, and they all sit back and say, it is the man's duty. Let him handle it. Let him find a way. I'll be good on my own, but that's his responsibility.
Well,
so what is your own position?
For a relationship like that, first of all, it means that love does not exist, right? Because maybe I should put it this way. Where my money becomes my money and your money becomes my money would probably be in a situation where the man is capable of taking care of these responsibilities, right? And even though he's capable, but that doesn't mean that, I want to do things for the house. Maybe there are things that I feel the need or I think that should be done and I can afford it and I'll wait for the man to do it. Do you understand? So for people who would rent their house to their husband, first of all, there's a gap in communication. There's a whole lot of gap in communications in every aspect, both in finances. So it means that your husband does not know what you have, because in as much as I'm saying my money is my money, that doesn't mean that my partner wouldn't know what I have, because you're going to actually know what I have. I'm going to be very open with you financially.
That is more painful. A woman that says my money is my money, your money is our money, and the husband gets to know how much he has. Meaning the husband is now aware of how much you have that you are not even bringing to the table. Is that not more painful?
Why would it be painful to you? Why would it be painful to the other partner? Is it that because it is only painful when I have this money and there's a need to meet and you're not able to do that and I'm not stepping in? Do you understand? But you cannot have it and want to, share the responsibility and make it like a norm, like this is what it's supposed to be. Like Clint has said, that women are advocating for more rights. Well, it is true that women are advocating for more rights, but I am also, like I said, I am truly African and truly Nigerian. And no matter how educated or exposed I am, I still believe that I am still under a man.
I would put your word in simple terms. You believe that family responsibilities should not be shared with a man as a lady, except in extreme situations. That's basically, Clint, is that what you got from what she's saying?
And that's what I'm getting from what she's saying.
Okay, so Christy has established that. So Clint, let me ask you. You happen to now marry a lady that earns more than you.
Okay.
In what situation will you find the family setting, or in what situation will you say, okay, just keep your money. I can handle things. Meanwhile, she earns more than you. So as like you are playing the devil's advocate now, I know you are of the mindset that family responsibilities should be kind of, shared between two partners, husband and wife and all. But in what situation will she really be any more than you? Be like, don't worry, this is my 100K per month. I go fit still. Just keep your money and enjoy yourself. Is there? If there is none, you can say no situation.
In this present Nigeria.
And you want to say in Tinubu
administration, where the minimum wage cannot even take you home. So basically, let me take on your question. It's not my present reality, but the truth is, if from what Christy said, if a woman earns 500,000 and a man earns 100,000, the truth is, there is no way the woman will expect the man to carry the whole responsibility of the house. It's not possible.
It's not realistic.
It's not realistic.
Of course, from the ending, it's not realistic.
It's not realistic for an intelligent woman, because this one has nothing to do with God fearing. This has nothing to do with God fearing. Some people that are really senior church members hold that narrative that my money, my money. You are the man. The Bible positioned you to be the head of the family. It is your responsibility to even take care of. We've seen situations where people no feel go, even women cannot even pay school fees because the man, they need to wait for the man to find money anywhere and run around, and she has that money in the bank.
No, Casey, that is a different thing entirely, because that's sheer wickedness.
That's the idea of my money is my money, your money is our money. That's the idea.
Maybe I don't know, but that's not the idea for me, because that is sheer wickedness. But that's what I said initially, that your ability to know the kind of, you should be able to see this signs. I don't know what to call it, but whatever. But that's not my idea of my money is your money. And Casey, back to your question to Clint, I don't even think that is a realistic question, because how would a man who earns 100,000 and tells his wife who earns 500K to say, "Oh, keep your money, I'm going to sort the bill"? With what?
Some Igbo men have that pride. See, Christy, the fact that we are saying this is a woman's slogan or whatever, it does not rule out the fact that some Igbo men do not want their wives to spend maka insult, maka police. They want to shoulder everything, regardless of how if them and their wife are supposed to combine together and probably live in Lekki. Because of his pride, he will say, "Don't worry, I will cater for the rent." He will go and find house in Maiki or Nyanya, since all of us were there Abuja before. Instead of him staying in Wuse, that will really suit the position of him and his wife, because of that pride. So I know men, Igbo, and Christy, you know that Igbo men have that whatever. So that's why I asked Clint that. Let's assume that you're overtaken by pride. Is there a situation, because you can stand in Clint's position by saying, "I have I believe in shared responsibilities," but there may just be a situation where you feel like the one where I get anyhow, we go the rock one like that. Madam, it's my responsibility to take care of the family.
Okay, so I think this very narrative, it's more with the uneducated Igbos, right? Who have that pride in them, right? There's no shame in saying, "Oh, I can't afford this now. What can we do?" And moreover, before you get into marriage, there should be some level of understanding between the two of you.
That's what
I wouldn't jump into a relationship without knowing you. Talk more of getting into marriage without knowing you.
Clint, sorry, can I pause you a little? Do you know that this thing which I said now, do you remember that is one of the reasons why Indi Ngbegbo, our fathers, they stopped their wives from working?
Yes. Which is all I said.
All in the guise of so that she will take care of the kids. But in the real sense, they just do not want their women. They don't want their women to be on the same financial position with them. Christy, you are communicating. Am I communicating? So yes, some men intentionally stop their wives from working so that they can be the sole financial of the whatever family situation they have going on. But yes, at a certain point, he hook. So the thing hook, and at certain point they have to now, that's why you see a lot of family issues everywhere. So this narrative, it actually stands for men too, not just women. But it's a good thing that we are looking at it from two different prism views to see that really this thing itself, it doesn't even make sense. Because at the end of the day, we have to counter this narrative. And if we counter it and we all counter, we all uphold it, it means that narrative is valid in the public domain. And any woman or man that believes in it going forward, from our own point of view, is on his own. Or he's in line with whatever it is he's doing. But Christy, let me also ask you this very question. You are in Canada. Coming over here, I realized that splitting of bills is a thing here. And some African women on TikTok and whatever, they even said that, imagine some Nigerians actually took them on a date in the UK and required them to split bills, because we don't come from where we know they split bill. We don't come here, we don't they split bill. So now, Christy, can you go out on a date with a man in Canada and you're required to split the bill? Because from this your position of my money, is it even something you can entertain?
Yes, I can. Why not?
So you can split bills in, and you won't say, why would this man tell me? Because that is not our thing. That is not how we operate. A man would rather go and borrow 5K from his friends just to impress his woman.
We are going on a date. We are going on a date. I don't have a relationship with you. I don't know you. You don't know me. So I eat my food. You do not eat it for me. So I can split bills with you. Right? Whether here, whether in Nigeria, whether anywhere. But I can't split bills with you.
But
that is not an issue for me.
Okay, if it's a man that wants to be in a relationship or is asking for a relationship, because from your position, like you said, if you are not really dating, it means two of you are just maybe like cosmates, you want to go out. So this one now, the man is asking you out.
Not like cosmates.
You go on the date, and from the first date, you don't see sign say, "Nah, I can't go." Or will that be your impression about the man? Or is something you're already now open?
If I can't come is the impression, I'm running away. I'll pay that bill, but that will be the last time you ever meet with me.
No, I'm asking you, will you have the impression of Akagom that the man is asking you now to split bills? Or because you are now in Canada, you've seen how things are done in the Western one, and you're like, okay, it's fine, this is actually how things operate here.
Yeah, it's actually a here and there question for me.
Christy said that,
so because things are done that way here doesn't take away my roots, right? And if that person is not from, like, if we don't share the same background, the same culture, then that makes sense to me. Do you understand? But whereby we share the same culture and you are an immigrant, just as I am, not like you were born here, and you want to start acting oblivious of your background and what you're supposed to do
to make you feel all right as a lady.
Yeah, then that doesn't make sense to me. And if splitting the bills means that, or is coming from a place of you not being able, or not, you're not capable of taking up both bills, then that makes sense. But whereby you're making it a point of like, let's share this bill from the first date. I'm sorry, let me take that. If you're a white guy, yeah, I can do that because that's your culture, that's your background. But if you were born here, that's your culture because this is the life you know. But you are an immigrant just as I am.
Clint, you can't split bills. Or be get where you go. By the time you know say when you don't share you everything, don't hide, they don't bring bill, you don't share like this. Maybe you carry out for mine saying at 10K, but when bill come, you see 100. You can't be asked whether that extra zero na mistake. Will you require for that bill to be split, or what will you do in that kind of situation?
Okay, we are on a date, not that. Okay.
Okay, we are on a date.
The truth is, for an African, when you're going on a date, you don't know what to expect, so you have to be prepared, right?
Now, man, you be.
Yes, you don't want to be caught off guard. You don't want to be caught off guard.
Prepared, you mean? Is it by taking table water when the baby is chilling with
financially ready?
My guy, if you have to do it, you have to be prepared. That is the honest truth. Do you understand? You don't know what to expect. What if you get there, the talks goes fine, and you end up going above your budget? What happens? So you just have to be prepared.
You are not prepared. You are talking of. I'm asking you. Will you?
I'm telling you, if it's me, I will have to be prepared for eventualities. What are you telling me?
Yes, please.
To take that answer further, right? If I'm on a date with a guy that this happens to be the situation, right? And first of all, a gentleman will ask a lady where she wants the date to hold, right? And the lady might decide to pick a place or give him the go ahead to just pick any place, right? Whichever case, whether the lady picks the place or the guy picks the place, for me, if the guy had asked me first and I picked the place, or asked him to, and we get there and the bill gets overboard, like above his what he can, or threshold, right? Two things. First of all, I'm a very sensitive person, right? The reaction, you would see the reaction in that person's face automatically.
True.
Right? A responsible man would be shy to ask that this bill is split, right? Or would be shy to even comment that the bill is too much, and they just, like, out of shame or something, try to shoulder the responsibility. I'm going to pose that question and offer. I'm not sure I'm even going to ask the question. I'm going to offer to pay certain amount.
That's when you read the room. That's when you read the room.
Yes, exactly.
Mind you, it's not all ladies that are sensitive to reading the room.
I know so many that are insensitive.
For those that actually believe that my money is my money, your money is our money, they will not show that sensitivity.
A girl came to spend weekend, 1 week in a guy's house. The guy was broke. He didn't have money to recharge his DSTV. This girl had over 100K in her account. She preferred that both of them stayed in that house for 1 week, and they actually stayed in that house for 1 week without television, and they were dating.
So Casey, in that case now, that lady can tell you that, oh, my money is our money, and your money is no, yeah, my money is our money, your money is our money, right? And you are seeing that sign. So what does it tell you?
Wrong, no.
Exactly my point. That brings me to Clint's answer. Because Casey, that question you asked, I don't know if that question was, if it was a correct question or the answer was wrong. But you cannot just have a conversation with somebody and say, oh, because she says, oh, my money is my money and our money is our money, then that's a red flag. Whereas you have ignored the actual red flag that has to do with, so somebody might say, it's just like people who get into, take for instance, abusive relationship, right? That during the dating stage, the guy may have not abused you, but he has abused others, whether emotionally, verbally, mentally, and you fail to see that it could be you someday, and it could be another type of abuse someday. Do you understand the point? And then you ignore. When you see how people treat others or how people act in relation to the area that is very sensitive and important to you, then you know what their actual take is.
You know, for people who believe in my money is my money and your money is our money, it's not actually the sentence we are referring to.
But it was the sentence that you asked Clint. You asked Clint.
Yes, but like I said, it's not the sentence itself we are referring to, but the sentence is there because women say it.
Yeah, it's the action.
Women saying it. But now we're looking at the action. We're looking at the body language. We're looking at response. That's why I gave you instance of this person that stayed 1 week in her guy's house and they watched nothing because truly, and that guy, he's actually buoyant too. It's not that he's broke, but in that particular episode, there was no money for DSTV. He rather used his money to, put food in the house and stock the house for them to eat and all that. But she could not bring her own money to pay for DSTV that she will follow and watch.
Watch for 1 week.
So if that lady says it, that thing she says is just 60% of the volume. But that action she has shown, is almost like, as a matter of fact,
the classic case.
I will tell you another situation, Clint and Christy. There's a lady she's a medical scientist, and the boyfriend had issues, and he was like, okay, please, can you help me run a test? Maybe a urine test. She's a med lab person. Help me run a urine test. And she said, no, why would she run a urine test with another man's lab? So when he told me, I told him to, sometimes you don't tell people to break up. You tell them to review the I told him to review the relationship. Because the concern there is not about she not wanting to. I'm not thinking in my head, if I'm a medical doctor and I can't support my family with my skill, like I'm an engineer, and because my wife is maybe shouldering the responsibility of the house, we call an electrician, or I'd rather not use my skill and say, go and call an electrician and come and fix the house. It's not my business. So there are things I'm thinking in my mind, and I'm like, okay, so I asked the guy, so what is now, aside the family, whatever, so you need to be looking at immediate value. And like I said, this is about how women and men have perspective shouldered. Christy, I know you may want to say something. I'm seeing your eye is spinning, and I know when your eye begin to spin like that, you may have a response for this. But like I said, the narrative is not because she did not want to do the test because another man's hospital. It's more of the man is not even not seeing immediate value, because I know a lot of men who are into shady dealings. They preferably want to marry a barrister. Politicians want to marry Supreme Court or be judge or whatever, Supreme Court judges and the rest. You are looking at, okay, what is the immediate value? That's why you say a lot of people want to go and marry doctor, they want to marry this, they want to marry that. So we are not saying men are greedy. We're only saying sometimes, because we are not marrying for money, we are not materialistic. as men, but we want to see one value. Like one. Christy, if you're not giving me any value, if your value is zero in my life, to as little as help me do a test for my life, I'm not saying you should give me money. And it was like a casual conversation. So like, no, she can't run the test. And he brought the thing to me. I told him, no, you need to review that relationship. Because now one day they count before they count 100.
True.
You can't wait to see all the body languages. But there are little you will see, plus signs and wonders. In here and there. You need to start putting one and two together. And this is where some men see things from. And it's not about being greedy. It's about men wanting to have a union for purpose. Christy, you want to react to that, or are you okay with what I said?
Let's just move ahead.
Okay. All right. No worries. So we will call it a day. There was a question I wanted to ask Clint, but then I think that question actually vaporized. Is that the word? But then I saw somebody online that said, if you are my girlfriend and you cannot pay for your taxi to my house, as little as paying for your taxi to my house, there's no value. It means you're already coming as a liability. I do not think that way. If my girlfriend pays for her taxi, it's fine. But I do not think she has to pay for her taxi because she's coming to see me. It's also my duty to provide care. And providing care is as good as even from the transport. But Clint, people who say that online, do you have any word of defense for them? Because I said, you said, it means that, mean, echo.
Let me explain why I said, So, like you rightly said, men go for value. And if to the smallest thing you can depend on me, even for transport. Who says if you pay your transport and come see me, I wouldn't give you something worth more than that?
Thanks for coming.
Do you understand that? so if you can depend on me, even to the smallest thing as transportation, it's a case of your money is your money.
I agree.
All right, guys. This is where we draw the curtain. We spent a lot of time. This is where we draw the curtain. But now it's time to counter that narrative in the public domain. Christy, I'll start with you. My money is my money. Your money is our money. Are you countering that narrative or you're upholding it? Counter narrative.
Can I be in between?
No.
You cannot be in between. That's the whole idea of this program.
I'm upholding it.
You're upholding it, meaning she still stands with the stance that her money is her money, and your money, your man's money is your people's money. For guys, Christy, are you still single? Are you married or no? Nothing. So people who are online need to start knowing that this is what we are saying, even whether we are single or we are married. This is my stand. So if anybody starts me up and say, Casey, because people have started me up and say, Casey, Kene is fine now. Like Kene is married. Okay, if they come and say Christy now, just say that Christy, this is her policy. You agree or you no agree? If you no agree, come on for my dear. Christy, do you want to consider that narrative or you want to still uphold it? Uphold. All right. Clint, counter narrative. My money is my money. Your money is our money.
I counter it. Our money is our money. Our money is our money.
All right, guys. Thank you very much for making today a delight for me. And of course, for our viewers, this is where we'll draw the curtain to the end of this episode of Counter Narrative. My name is Casey, and of course, I've been in this lovely episode with Christy and Clint. All right, so if you're new to our channel, please show us love, like our content, subscribe to our channel, and of course, share to your friends. This is where we call it a day.
Gracias. Obrigado.
This is Counter Narrative.